not. And with the playoffs also just around the corner now, only one more cycle after this one, you want to get that as good a seat as possible to, advance on in the playoff format and have a good shot of ultimately claiming victory to, of course, then move on to the World Finals. So there's all that jazz on the line. But anyways, enough of all that. We got a game number 2 coming at us. And interesting bands here to kick it off, as usual. Madman, Keeper, Kinesis, Warbeast. Now, Tree banned Keeper as well as the Warbeast. Madman and Kinesis coming out from Mint. And then they first pick Flux on Mint. This draft is already going very interesting.
Yeah, I think Tree we don't want to fight against any sort of jungler / sort of push strat that Mint might be playing. When Mint first pick Flux and Tempest as well, there's not much that Tree can really do to sort of stop them going in team fight if that's what Mint want to do, kind of thing. They pick up Engineer just to sort of stop any kind of Flux Tempest Engineer, which would be a ridiculous amount of team fight. And they pick up Kraken for themselves as well. So, I mean, Tree have a decent team fight as well, but I don't think Tree are going to pick up a jungler, particularly not after first game as well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem... doesn't seem likely. And also, whenever Tree pick up Engineer as well, they almost always give it to Root of Z. So I think when I see Root of Z on Engineer, and then Fusin on maybe like Glacius or even like one of the other solo supports.
Yeah, and they get that third pick, Swiftblade as well. Very interesting there to finish it off. Of course, it's more so interesting, seeing it at that spot being picked up. Again, a hero that definitely got some nerfs as a result of the last patch, but it's still highly regarded. And even as we saw last weekend, as a pretty solid hero in the end. So, Tree going to get their hands on it here. And yeah, you're making the point of Rudicy will probably end up playing a secondary support here in case the Engineer he's definitely, we really know him for the big play potential on a hero like Riftwalker. Of course, that hero also just not really played by anyone else but him. But I really want to say, when we first started hearing Willowkeeper, him on Engineer was actually even a thing. And that was definitely impressive to watch. So maybe not as flashy of a hero as Riftwalker, but definitely a hero that he knows very well, is safe to say. So, yeah. Kind of interesting, though, seeing the Flux on the one side and the Kraken and Engineer on the other. But that Valkyrie third pick, definitely also very interesting, coming out from Fresh right here. Valkyrie seems like a hero that's getting a little bit more attention recently on the competitive scene.
He's got a great win rate as well. I didn't even realise that Quincy placed the stat 65% win rate on 20 games as well. So overall, decent. I think he got touched up a little bit in terms of buffs as well. So even stronger overall. I think it helped in sort of just in terms of quality of life changes really, but still buffs nonetheless. I'm wondering how they're going to play him though. I'm assuming it's going to be carry. I don't know why I feel that way, but I don't know. It just feels like if they put him in the suicide lane against like a most likely a tri lane or defense tri lane from Tree, Valkyrie is going to get shut down completely. Yeah. And Valkyrie, although decent with minimal farm or little farm, can still, there's other heroes that do better with worse farm kind of thing. So I think they might put that in the short lane though, but I guess it depends on the draft and the other 2 picks that Tree might pick up. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
Final band going to be coming out from Tree right here. Moira, Lodestone, Devourer, Magnus, Dr. Pulsar. And now, of course, again, that last one here. So it is, I love seeing that Moira being banned and definitely showing some respect right there. Yeah.
Particularly... Yeah, sorry. Just saying, particularly with the strategy and the lineup that Mint were trying to do. Because all the sort of the big Tempest Ultimates or the big ultimate-related team fight style of draft from Mint, Moira can completely negate that. If Moira can stop maybe 1 or 2 ultimates from the enemy team that run this sort of big team fight ultimate style of draft, the hero is invaluable in that respect. So
well, yeah, we saw that last week by
exactly.
Tree. I think it was against Reason, I want to say. Maybe it was against Nullstone even. But anyways, point being, yes, great at stopping that AoE initiation and really throwing them off. So Glacius picked up into Andromeda. A couple of support options here. Andro, again, a hero that also has been getting a couple of buffs these more recent patches here and coming back on the scene as a result of that.
Yeah, makes sense. It's a great early game sort of style of hero that can run really well. That, in my opinion, works very, very well in terms of the style of Tree, but also a great Tempest ultimate stopper as well, along the side of Kraken. But I think having at least 2 is a little bit more safe because, for example, if Kraken needs to use the ultimate instantly on someone else, then at least you've got the Andromeda to back up with the swap if Tempest doesn't get a big hole off, for example. So,
yeah. Another great option, and a very, very powerful one at that, definitely. I mean, at level 1, again, sure, it's not the most range, but level 2, and especially level 3, you get to that point, it's he's going to easily be able to counter Tempest when he goes for those Elemental Void attempts. So it's going to be a difficult Tempest game, pending, of course, the Flux synergy, of course. That will help with that. Drunken Master, the final pick, once again coming out from Mint right here. So clearly a comfortable hero for them. But again, I'm curious now, who is Pro Bus going to end up playing here?
I think it's going to be the Valkyrie, just because I think it makes sense, because to be fair, Drunken and Valkyrie are actually going to have the same issues if one of them gets put suicide. Both of them need quite a lot of farm. So, yeah, I guess it depends on who they feel valued. Yeah, they're going to put Valkyrie suicide. And probably Valkyrie might offer a little bit more with less farm, actually, than Drunken Master, because at least he's got the arrows plus the Prism and the Call of Valkyrie, whereas Drunken, he practically needs farm, otherwise he's not very useful, and his skill set is very reliant on farm. The last pick, Accursed, man.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be Suicide Accursed as well, most likely, because it can completely negate any kind of boxing out from Glacius, because whenever he Ice Imprisons, Accursed can take it off with Fire Shield, and again, I really do like it, because they have a little...
Accursed!
It's not going to carry Accursed, I'm sorry, Reggie, but it's going to be useful, at least in terms of utility sense, because, it might have been even better in the last game than it is in this game, but this game is still going to have a somewhat of a decent impact, because if they can sort of sustain any like big ultimates from maybe like the Flux, the Glacius, or even the Tempest, for example, then if they can sustain the damage out, then the Kraken and the Swiftblade are going to mop up in terms of sustained damage, whereas Mint, they're a little bit more focused on the first 10 or 15 seconds of the team fight, whereas Tree, they might sort of scale a little bit better in terms of team fights if it lasts a little bit longer than that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's and also look at the Legion team too, and who's playing what. Again, it's you were going off of what they were at, but they had not readied up yet. So again, they were trying to throw off Tree, as many teams do, and they actually give it back to Probusk, playing the Valkyrie.
Oh,
so Zibbe going to be the one at Drunken Master here, and is sure enough going to be playing the Suicide as a result. So yeah, trying to throw them for a loop a little bit right there, and keeping them guessing.
I should have stuck with my guns, man. I should have stuck with my gun.
Gotta wait for them to actually ready up, because totally do.
Threw me off anyway.
Yeah, all 5 down here of Tree, but yeah, Boxy, the one playing Accursed. Tree, did Tree play Accursed last week, or was it a different team?
It was Ride My Rocket.
That's right. Yeah, I want to say it was a different team. I didn't think that Tree had played it. So,
and this Accursed skin is badass, though.
Yeah, is that one of that's the Judge skin? Yeah, I think it's one of the more recent Judge ones.
He's actually picked up boots here, and I love the pickup as well. He'll need some region, whether he's going to get pulled by someone or there's some region on the courier, so he's going to get pulled a little bit, which is needed, because I think at least in the first couple of minutes, any hero can suicide if he gets first sight and boots, because no one on Mint will go first sight and boots, and because of that, you can outrun any kind of harassment that Mint might dish out, for example, as long as obviously he doesn't play like ridiculously aggressive, he should be fine. He's going to pull this creep wave as well, and Mint, they're going to be none the wiser. So he's going to get an early level 2 if he pulls this correctly. He needs to pull it at about 0.13. Yeah, he's going to get it. Yeah. He's going to pull this behind the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower. He's going to get at least level 2 behind this, and this is something he tried to do in game 1, but he sort of failed a little bit. But it's going to give him a nice early advantage in this lane, without doubt.
Oh, look at the top lane. Zibbe knows what's up. Yeah, he knows they're missing, if anything. They haven't been seen yet, and figures he's going to play it very safe, and correctly so. You see Andromeda and Engineer looking to flank him, but he's not going to fall for that. He plays it very, very safe, and sure, he's getting nothing here right now, but that's what he needs to be doing, because they're also getting nothing on the support options here on the side of Tree. So well played by Zibbe right there, and he's going to try to make himself useful elsewhere. Maybe even, I don't know if he's going to try to even stack or just kind of roam throughout the jungle. Maybe even try to set up a kill middle lane. Only level 1 Drunken Master, only has the stagger here, so not necessarily the most effective, but they're gonna at least try to harass a little bit right here. He's gonna do that. I wonder if he's just gonna go to his own jungle even. Or no, he's going back top, so I'm not sure what
there's not much that Drunken can really do, to be fair. If he stays up top, he has a risk of dying, and he's not even going to be able to sort of leech XP either, because this lane is shut down completely by both Fusen and Root of Z. What will need to happen though eventually is that they'll need to stack this jungle as much as possible. So the reason being is because it will give Battlestar even an increase in terms of gold, but also it will give Tree the much needed levels, because they're running a defensive tri lane compared to Mint, what they're actually running a jungler. So they need to not only have good lanes, but also good utilization of stacks as well, if they want to have a decent time in terms of sort of sustain in terms of gold on experience against this enemy team. Although Drunken is taking a lot of damage, actually.
I was gonna say, yeah, one more auto attack,
dead.
yeah, that does it. And you know, a lot of I'm surprised that Zibby did that because you know he's a very experienced suicide player, and that just simply was being impatient right there. He got to a point where it was very obvious, you know, he was doing just kind of random things because we knew that could have very possibly happened if he went to the top lane, and he actually tried to push up a little bit right there. And as soon as he did, the supports were there, Andrew and Engineer, and they sure enough flank him and set up the easy kill in the long run. So, yeah, just simply Zibby getting a little bit ahead of himself, and you know, it ends up being a bloodlust kill. Yeah, Casey made the point recently when we had him on it. He doesn't necessarily like playing the suicide option because you're setting yourself up to play and ultimately what is not a good chance of winning your lane. That's the whole point of the suicide lane. It's just simply staying alive at the very least. So I'm getting at that. Zibby perhaps just getting a little bit frustrated there, but like I said, he's an experienced suicide player, so you'd hope that wouldn't be the case, but.
Well, there's nothing that this Stronger Master can do because they're, you know, like I said, he's going against an aggressive, defensive tri lane. He's kind of he's going to sit mid and maybe leech XP or try and box out the Kraken, but you know, expect maybe a rotation from Andrew, and they're probably going to kill Drunken Master again. But that kill actually was very, very big. Probably one of the biggest things that could happen. The reason being is because these supports, there's no way they can really get experience or gold outside of getting kills. So that one big kill, you know, gives them a little bit of farm that they desperately need. This Stronger Master, like he cannot find a place. He's sitting mid. Oh,
bottom lane. A curse is going to fall. He didn't even shield right there. He didn't necessarily. Might not have even mattered in the end, to be fair. But the other cool thing about a curse, you can cauterize to deny yourself. That could have been an attempt for that. So I'm a little curious as to what Boxy was ultimately thinking right there, because he was basically dead in the long run as he saw he was even getting cut off by Tempest. So it almost just seemed like he just kind of panicked right there and just kept trying to run. But clearly that was not going to happen. So well played, though, by Mint, able to take him out and at least get a counter kill set up. So Boxy, I was going to say he's been doing fairly well. He was playing somewhat aggressive, though. You know, a Curse can do that to an extent because of that fire shield, but as we saw right there, if he pushes up a little too far, he too can fall. Of course, doesn't have level 6 yet. Look at that Seer, though, doing work, man. Allowing him to put in some nice melee auto attacks into the Valkyrie there, but really working off a death, though, so I'll have to deal with that. Swiftblade into the stacked jungle here.
Yep. This is exactly what they need as well to get their supports leveled up. Fusen can just sort of babysit the Swiftblade to sort of leech XP that way, while Root of Z take over the jungle. And they can really do this as well because they shut down Drunken Master completely. Like, he doesn't even want to go in that lane anymore. And this just gives so much more breathing room here for Tree. Because Fusen can now actually help Swiftblade if he wants to. In the jungle because he doesn't actually have to box out the Drunken Master while Engineer can just last hit creep. So yeah, it's really good that they've shut down this Drunken Master completely because it gives them so much more freedom in the lane.
Good old lane Kraken, double damage rune, release the Kraken used, but Flux, as we always go back to, somewhat tanky, and he's able to survive there in the long run as Boxy bottom lane. Oh my god, he gets a kill! He's in trouble still! He has another cauterize in 2 seconds, maybe deny himself? No, couldn't get it off in time. But yeah, 4 heroes here to kill Boxy. The fact that he got a kill on a Tempest especially is a pretty big deal, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not good for Mint.
Yeah, the fire shield actually coming into play again. Glacius froze him and then he instantly used it, and then as a result, Probus missed the arrow on top of him. So just nice play. But yeah, this Strong Master just he's had such a harsh time, and there's not much else he can really do though. Like, he's trying to maybe farm the yellow camp a little bit, you know, try and protect runes and stuff. But like, if Drunken Master doesn't have a good start, I think the hero just is completely useless, honestly. Like, compared to say this to maybe even a Bubbles or a Pharaoh, they can do decent with 0 farm. But all they need is levels, and he's getting levels all right, I guess, but he needs farm because otherwise the hero is completely just pointless and crap.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have that level 6 impact like a Bubbles.
Yeah,
or a
exactly.
Pharaoh, for example, or I will say, you know, when it comes to needing items, Drunken doesn't necessarily need that many, you know, because of his skill set. But yeah, he doesn't have again that big ganking tool that those other heroes would bring.
a lot of his sort of spell set or skill set is sort of item or farm dependent or farm based, and like the lunge is what 100% of your attack damage, and if your attack damage is nothing because you've got no items, then the hero is not going to offer as much as other heroes. And I think this is actually going to play a really big impact throughout the game because he's like not even 100 GPM, and this is going to go on for maybe the next 5 minutes, I think, because he can't farm mid because obviously Flux is going to take that lane. He can't farm bottom because Provost is taking it, and he can barely farm jungle because Tempest has taken up a lot of that as well. And if he goes top, he's in risk of dying again, not only reducing his low GPM already. So, and he can't take Ancients, of course, either. So he's just in a little bit of a loss. He's a little lost, lonely boy.
Bottom lane, a curse. Now, he does have his flame consumption here, so he can stay alive a little bit longer. But Tempest coming in with that Veiled Rot. So all he thinks it's just Glacius, but now Tempest all of a sudden shows himself. He puts on the shield, gets out of that slow, doesn't have any TPs coming in. He doesn't. I don't know why he went over there, to be honest, if that's the case. Now, he's going to pop that flame consumption, but as soon as that wears off, they're going to go for a kill right here. Out comes the Elemental Void, and the damage to follow. Yeah, what was Boxy thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, why go over here? He could have just simply ran back to the tower.
I think maybe he was expecting TPs to come up from his team. Like, Engineer did have a TP as well. Maybe expected Kraken to have one as well. Trying to maybe bait Mint into that sort of position and then get a follow-up TP. But maybe, I don't know. I think he might have died even if he just kept on running, because I think he was in range of a Glacius freeze or Tempest ultimate. But yeah, definitely a little bit questionable. But it could have just been things that we didn't see. For example, like maybe Kraken said, "Oh yeah, I'll TP," and then just doesn't.
Like I said, that had I gotta figure he expected at least someone to come in right there, because the very least trying to get away that way. But Flux, middle lane. You see the pushback though. Drunken Master comes in, but the Swift Slash is used first, and Drunken Master is quickly regretting jumping in right there.
He's just food. Like, he's got boots 8 minutes into the game. Like,
he's also a level 3 Drunken that just tried to jump a level 8 Swiftblade.
Exactly.
Maybe level 7 at the time, I guess, but still, that's quite the gap right there. Yeah, Zebe does seem like he's, a little bit, as a poker term would go, a little bit on tilt here as far as this game number 2 for whatever reason. A Curse bottom lane once again, flame consumption, and he gets it off in time. Is it going to matter for a turn kill? Yes, it will. Oh, the humiliation even on top. How brutal. Port's coming in. Actually, he might as well survive. Engineer comes in with it, and all of a sudden, Drunken Master again in trouble. And he's going to go down. Wow, Accursed showing off a bit of his power right there. Again, another 4-man gank, but the miss charged right there from Kraken. Will it still result in a kill? It looks like it. Tempest is going to fall as Engineer's like, I got this, don't worry. Final auto attack. Oh, that's got to be frustration, though, for Mint as a team.
Yeah, definitely. But this is the tree we're used to seeing, though. They're getting aggressive. Like, it's not even 10 minutes yet. They're getting aggressive on all sides of the map. TP coming in, perfect rotation from Root of Z. Yeah, without that energy field, I think that Boxy would have died. But, again, just going very, very well here for Tree, because this is what they're used to. This is what they've practiced time and time again. This is what they've won with time and time again, and it just suits them, to me anyway. And Mint, I mean, this Tempest, like, he's used Tempest ultimate, but outside of that, like, he has to keep going back into sort of farming mode. It looks like he's going to pick up the Astrolabe, but I don't think this is the game to start maybe going as 5 and sort of team fighting, though, because I think Tree will want to fight. They want to go as 5, because Mint really are only 4 players, because this Drunken Master offers absolutely nothing. Like, he doesn't even have upgraded boots yet, and he's going to offer nothing in terms of the team fight. And Tree, they're going to most likely pick up the portal key on Kraken now. They got energy field online, plus pretty decent Accursed is very, very good early levels as well, because of his fire shield and his quarter rise. So, yeah, I don't know if that Astrolabe pickup from Mint will be the best decision here from Tempest.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a little bit more as to why this Accursed was picked up for a suicide option. Not only just, can be pretty good utility for a team, but again, that fire shield going back to, and especially with the lane that he figured he probably was going up against with the Glacius support. Very, very powerful tool to have against a nice imprisonment. Now, he's going to take a 4.5-second arrow right here. He can't do anything about that, but Engineer is coming in. Bait indeed. Fire shield comes out, and Valkyrie's like, wait, what the hell just happened? He gets turned on.
Well played.
Well played indeed. So you think he actually purposely took it?
Yeah, no, he ran into it. Like, it was like that arrow was missing him if he didn't run into it, and he ran into it on purpose because Engineer was invisible there. So that is a really big play that some people wouldn't even notice it, but yeah, Boxy, just a big play.
I don't know. I don't know if he purposely.
That was a play, man.
Maybe it probably was. You're right. It was probably next level.
Engineer was there.
He was there in Invis. You are right. It very likely could have been the plan all along. So.
Kraken.
Oh, God. What is happening here? Kraken goes in, actually, with the release of Kraken with that. No, I thought he had a portal key, but never mind. But no kill's going to come as a result of it. Legion team able to fall back somewhat. Drunken Master low on life. He's in the background. Gonna be fine. Andromeda doesn't have a swap just yet. Kraken, he's gonna get caught. They could have used it right there, but they can't. Down he goes. Here comes the Swift. Slashes those spin on top. And Glacius barely stays alive. He wants to kill Fluxo, that's why. And it will end up being a kill on him as a result. Valkyrie has another leap up. Can she actually get out of here with it? I believe so. Yeah, she's gonna be able to leap over a pretty good ledge right there. So Probusk going to be fine. Probusk, by the way, picked up that Warp Cleft here. So going for a Thunderclaw, actually. He did finish the Soul Screamer here, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be the item match is where he needs to go. But again, this just goes back to maybe the Tempest Astrolabe is going to be even worse pickup, because if Valkyrie picks up Thunderclaw, like, he's not going to be that useful in terms of team fights. Yet Tempest is going items that want the team fight. They want a group as 5. They want to push. But if Probus picks up a Thunderclaw, he just wants to sort of sit back and take this late, for example, which I think might be the way forward, because Tree, as you can see, they're taking these early engagements and they are winning. And so picking up the Astrolabe from Tempest, it's not going to be that useful. He won't be able to use it, whereas maybe a Portal Key, for example, might be useful in terms of ganks, or even if he picks up something else to help him farm, for example. But Astrolabe, I'm not feeling it, Breaky.
Yeah, no, you're going back to that. Yeah, definitely on that Tempest here. So, sure enough, that is going to be the case ultimately. But more that traditional style of the Astrolabe and the Ring of Sorcery course on this Tempest is what we're ultimately going to see. What was I going to mention, though? Oh, yeah, Swiftblade. Just look at Swiftblade's farm. He has an Abyssal Skull Steam Booth, and now he has a Firebrand just about delivered to him on top of that. So it's safe to say he's having a very, very good time. 492 gold per minute coming out for Balthazar, the carry player for Willowkeeper here. As a result of that. Andromeda level 6 now as well. Talk about how important that is for multiple reasons. Not only a great saving tool, but also great for stopping Tempest ultimates, and hell, even can be the occasional initiation tool. Especially now with that armor buff on top. On Cursed Bottom Land, he takes the arrow. He's going to survive through it initially. Here comes Tempest, though. Maybe Flame Consumption. No, yeah, he does use it. He was maybe baiting out an Elemental Void, but never mind. That's actually on cooldown, so just played it safe here in the end, which he is going to be fine. But there is still possible action. What is happening? Kraken is charging through the haste, and look at all 5 players are in the vicinity here of Mint, and they're going to get nothing out of it. So Fresh just playing this very, very scared almost, very safe-like.
Again, going back to Drunken Master, man, he doesn't even have upgraded boots. It's like maybe 50 minutes in. Just 99 GPM Reiki, like,
yeah.
Just, he's suffering big time, and I don't really like Drunken Master. Is one of those heroes where he doesn't have really like a sort of a recovery method, or he doesn't have any items that can get him back in terms of just farming either. Tier 1 tower has been dropped though, so maybe he's just going to try and static farm this lane up here, which is pretty definitely something that's needed, because mid is, like I said before, that's Flux, his region. Middle lane, obviously Valkyrie's going to be farming bottom, and he has to keep control of this lane, otherwise he won't have anywhere else to farm, so he should try and static this lane as much as possible, I think. Yeah, he's pushing it out, so I completely disagree with this choice as well. Because now he's going to sort of roam around and not find any farm, whereas I think if he static lane this, yeah, he might be in trouble of getting picked off, but now he's got oh, he's going to take Ancients actually, so it's not the worst decision actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, they are doing the Ancients over here, and, you know, Flux and Glacius not necessarily the strongest at it. I'm sure Drunken Master are going to try to get a good amount of these kills here in the end, so doing it as a team, and we'll see how the goal looks after the fact. We mentioned the Thunderclaw is now finished on Valkyrie, so it's definitely an efficient farming tool. But with that said, only 310 gold per minute right now. Again, really hasn't been able to, you know, really flash farm with it just yet. Again, he just got to be fair, but has also been somewhat involved. You know, 3-1-1 here. It's been a bit of action at the bottom lane, and it could continue actually as Andromeda is in the vicinity. Oh no, just going to counter ward in the process. So going to try to make the vision difficult on Valkyrie here is the idea with that, of course. As Astrolabe is finished on Tempest. By the way, a couple of Portal Keys on the Hellborn team. One picked up by Kraken, but also Engineer. Is he able to get it?
Yeah. And that's just sort of the style that Tree play and allow him to play. Like, Balthazar actually rotated to the Trungle when he had level or rank 4 Blade Fury. And that was mainly triple stacked everything because of Fusen. Which something they need to do, which allowed, you know, Root of Z to sort of farm the top lane. He's like 300 GPM, which is very, very rare for an engineer, but they just allow him a lot of space and a lot of farm, and as a result he makes big plays because of it. So
yeah,
just really, again, efficient farming from Tree, something that they're used to and how they play.
I see middle lane Valkyrie Prism use in a sense that smoke gank, but yeah, the
How did
was
you know?
very aware. I was just wondering that myself. I mean, they must have seen somebody. They do have a ward aside over here, and obviously they saw something to give them the cue that, okay, get back. Again,
unless that was just Spidey senses.
Well,
nah, I can't.
That's why Valkyrie Prism can also be somewhat tough, unlike a Revenant smoking, as it's
yeah,
called.
that's true.
Because everybody needs to be off the map for it to be effective.
Exactly.
And so if somebody's just somewhat showing, or what happens to be somewhere, then yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It screws it. So, well played by Tree right there. Able to fall back. Look at Boxy, man. He's level 11 now as well. The second highest level in the game here.
Yep.
His teammate.
Pick up Whispering Helm as well, actually, which is...
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen this done before, to be fair, so...
What? Is this the carry accursed?
Maybe. I mean, actually, top lane Drunken, you're going to be dead, unfortunately. Yeah, you're dead. So.
Double damage Kraken, that'll take care of business. Swiftblade on top.
They're going to trade the tier 1 tower mid, though, which I'm a little bit surprised about, though. I said, like, I thought the Astral Labour on Tempest wasn't going to be too useful, but, I mean, if they're taking team fights and Tree don't want to fight, then I guess Astral Labour isn't too bad, actually. But, yeah, because I don't know, I think Tree could easily take it. They've got Portal Key on Engineer and Kraken, and in that team fight particularly, they didn't have Drunken Master, so... but it's only a tier 1 tower in the end, and obviously they got to pick off on the Drunken Master, so Tree shouldn't be too upset about it, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, going back to this Whispering Helm though, it makes sense a little bit because actually I've been seeing he's farming Ancients a lot, and because he's farming Ancients, it allows the rest of his team to farm elsewhere on the map. At the same time, you could say, why don't you just pick up Abyssal Skull? But Swiftblade's picked it up himself, so it gives him a way to sort of farm Ancients reliably, and I guess he could eventually transition into Carrier Curse Breaky, but we'll have to wait and see. Swiftblade though,
Swiftblade in a little bit of trouble. There's a lockdown from Dragon Master, at least initially the lunge, but a very quick release of it. That's an illusion flux, so it makes a little more sense as to why they didn't try to go all out right there, but the illusion easily killed off, and Swiftblade going to be back to farming. Yeah, you mentioned the Steam staff, though, picked up on a curse now, so he is going more that strength carry build in a sense. The Whispering Helm and Sanitary is almost like Malikan-like, really.
Yeah.
Right here with that build, so... yeah, that's going to be fun to see. Again, Seer, it's only level 1 currently. You level it up, though, and you see what it does. Increases the attack speed as well as the move speed slow of the opponents. And again, it works on all abilities now, so even like a Fire Shield Explosion will apply that Seer to everyone it does hit in an AoE sense. So, and of course, the Seer also helps your teammates on top of that. So,
look at the Ancients, man. I think he's been sitting down there just farming Ancients this whole time. And it makes sense, though, because like one thing that I always talk about with Tree is that they have such great farm efficiency. They always like prioritize sort of maximizing their farm. And like normally a lot of teams don't really think about this, but they don't farm Ancients too much, but they're doing so, particularly this bottom lane. Actually, bottom lane. Ooh, charge missed.
That's a missed charge. We do see a port coming in, and going to be a little too late, though. So, Kraken, Kraken, I feel like they changed the charge. I feel like we see a lot of mischarges on just top tier players.
It's because we got a little bit spoiled by Limp, and every single charge he did, man, it was like always hitting. I guess
that's true. It's not the E. There's a slight delay with it compared to other stunts and whatnot, and so it's I guess understandable. But yeah, it is interesting. I guess we were just spoiled. In Sanitary, speaking of that, Labyrinth actually getting one on Flex here. And,
I think after Crackgate did it, like it's core on the hero though. Maybe like you can get Portal Key, but you can get Portal Key as well. So it just fits so nicely with the hero as well, makes some sort of carry potential. So I like it.
Swiftblade, well, he already has a Dawnbringer. We're just hitting 20 minutes into the game. He has a Dawnbringer Abyssal Skull. And that's middle tower dead on top of that. 562 gold per minute will do that for you, though. And he's also going to be hitting level 16 here shortly as well, so that makes the Swift Slash just that much stronger on top of it all. Yeah, continues to be not good news. And I keep going back to this Valkyrie as well. Again, you get a Thunderclaw, the idea of it is that it increases your, kind of like the Rune Cleaver for Dark Lady or the melee in general. It's not really working. I mean, only 336 gold per minute. She was around 310, I remember saying, when she first got it, so not what you want.
If you think about it, though, look at what they've had to do. They've had to split the whole map for 4 cores, practically. Flux needs farm, Valkyrie needs farm, Drunken Master definitely needs farm from what his start was, and then obviously Tempest needs farm as well. And as they didn't have the greatest early game, their sphere of influence or their sphere of farm was completely reduced. In game 1, they sort of wrecked it, and so they could farm everywhere on the map, but in this game, Tree had a good start early game, and so Mint, they were very, very limited in terms of where they can farm. Now the tier 1 tower top and the tier 1 tower mid is gone. Their Ancients are a little bit sort of dangerous to farm, so they can't really farm there. They can only farm their own jungle, whereas Tree, they have a lot more spaces to farm. And going back over to a curse, man. He's just farming this Ancients, and it gives the rest of his team to farm it elsewhere on the map, just being incredibly efficient in terms of creep kills.
Speaking of a curse, they actually tried to gank him at the bottom lane with the Valkyrie Prism, but it just wasn't the best execution, and happy it was being killed off, so a curse already was falling back when they tried to jump him. And I almost want to say it might have been for the better, because I believe Engineer was almost nearby too, and curse is a difficult hero to kill with even good lockdown. Because if he has any bit of time to press R, then all of a sudden he can completely help set up for a turn. So he finishes off some more Ancients. He does have the Insanitarius being delivered, and he's gonna keep farming the bottom creep wave. So he's we keep going back to Swiftblade, how crazy farmed he is, and well, that's continuing to shine. But you throw the curse on top of that. Now you got a Kraken here. He's working towards his shrunken head. It's tough to find where Fresh is going to be successful in this game right now, with how things have started. It all goes back to the big Flux Tempest combination. Going to need some big synergy there. But again, that's kind of my worry, though, to an extent with this team. Is they don't have the most AoE follow-up damage. The Flux and Tempest is great for the initiation purpose, but they don't have the Soulstealer Sobers. They don't have great Kinesis AoE or anything like that. It's just those two for getting the crowd control to work, but not necessarily the follow-up damage potential, at least in the AoE presence. So that's definitely my major concern right now for Mint, and especially with the way things are going. So even with the synergy coming through, might not spell victory for them. Being down 10,000 golden experience, though, we'll do that to you. So.
Like I said, they're just getting out farmed, put simply. Like Tree, I think every single minute on the minute, Fusen is stacking these Ancients and Box, he's just farming. Whereas for Mint, they rarely have seen to farm their Ancients, because again, it goes back to sort of the sphere of influence and them not being able to really farm as much of the map as Tree are. I'm wondering actually when Tree are going to start rotating to Congo, because they can easily do it now with the Abyssal Skull obviously on Swiftblade, and obviously the Whispering Elm on Cursed. They can do it whenever they want. T1 Tower mid is dropped from Mint as well, so they don't have the greatest of ways to actually rotate. Just on Q-break, here comes the Congo kill.
Indeed, here it comes. 23.5 minutes. It's funny thinking that it wasn't until now that Tree had its first hero kill last game, and so they have 10 this game, and it's completely different. And just again, the activity and the way they've been playing, it's been completely kind of a 180 turnaround. Look at the mines at the bottom tower. Yeah. Oh man, those level 4. Those are level 1 only, actually. Okay, never mind. So, but still,
elementals now.
Trying to get them out here, but yeah, not going to happen, at least for now. They'll defend the bottom tower as well as killing Conqueror. That's when you know a team is just so far ahead, if they're able to do that effectively. Defend a tower as well as kill Conqueror and give a token of life to Swiftblade. So it's, man, I mean, we're going to see Tree eventually here in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'm sure, go for that push. Bottom lane, okay. Yeah, here's a chance. There's a Valkyrie Prism used, and it's a good one because they have no clue. This is a big chance. And they saw Kraken here as well. They don't see him right now. There's the pull in from Flux. Kraken, he's going to try to get away as he's going to pull back in. Release Kraken comes out of Curse. Got his flame consumption off as he gets scattered. Now here's our turnaround as they poured it on the Hellborn side. Zibe trapped in the energy field. He goes in onto a Curse, but Tem's already picked off. And a Drunken Master also going to fall. Well, didn't go as planned. It's safe to say for Fresh right there, and it's going to get worse most likely. Valkyrie leaping away. Okay, she's going to be fine, but yeah. This is looking grim for them now.
They didn't even touch the curse. Oh, now he's picked up a portal key as well.
Portal key, wow.
I actually do like the portal key as well, because it not only gives him a way to sort of catch people, but also, like, if, for example, if his team's getting caught, you can easily portal key, and then obviously Flower Shield to sort of protect him. But yeah, like, there's a curse, man. Like, he's so tanky they can't even kill him. Like, the carrier cursed is real.
That was without Swiftblade, who was pushing the top lane that whole time. So. Yeah, we're probably going to see a Game 3.
We're going to see a Game 3. Like, yeah, I think Mint's draft here is good if they can get the farm, but Tree, they drafted a lot better because they didn't give them the opportunity. They shut down Zibe completely from the start. Zibe has been a complete non-factor in this whole game. Arguably because obviously Drunken Master doesn't do anything with farm, as we've touched on before, but just overall, just 0, 6, and 2 just had nothing. And yeah, like, what can Mint really do if they're playing 4v5? Not much.
Oh jeez, that's Swift. He actually goes back. No, that's a curse going back in. I'm gonna say the Swift Slash is not the friendliest for him. A lot of creep damage done right there. There's a pull in from Flux, but you look at a curse. He just pops on the shield, runs away. Gonna be fine. In fact, he's chasing others. He still has his ultimate. Kraken doesn't have anything though, and he gets locked down for the kill. So Mint finally getting something to go their way here, it feels like, and what is game number 2. So that'll
Tree just overextension a little bit.
keep going. Yeah, a little bit of we're in a good lead kind of play right there, coming out from Tree. But hey, they're allowed to do that at least a couple times here before they need to stop doing it. I guess it's safe to say, but. Yeah, it is interesting. Really though, you look at the draft too. As you say, sure the team maker, but it does go back to the draft as a whole, specifically the Suicide Hero, just necessarily wasn't the best choice. That's going back to the reasons that we're talking about. Compared to the first game again, they drafted very, very, very strong. Top lane, that's going to be a big Swift Blade initiation. He was spinning on top of 4 heroes from the beginning. That should do it. I mean, it's not often we see a game end at a defense of a Tier 1 tower. But I would not be surprised.
Engineer with Porky, jeez, man, like there's just nothing they can do. They just got wrecked.
Well, that was it's even more. You look back at that first game and think to yourself, okay, what was the major difference? Sure you could grade the draft on min side, but Tree tried a jungle last game, and they had probably their worst game ever in Hunter Season 3. They go back to what they knew best, their roots, you can say. And it worked out pretty damn well. So I don't know if we should expect to see jungles in the future for Tree.
Man, but also, I mean, don't get me wrong, the non-jungle factor was perfect because just the way that Fusion and Root of Z play together, like their support duo break is so good. And I mean, a couple of other support duos, you think of like Slapped and Insania, but they just in the laning phase in itself is just so good. They not only got a first blood onto the Drunken Master, everything was completely stacked out, and it was like clockwork the way they run that short lane that break. Like got level 7 on Swift, like he instantly went into the jungle. It was just really nice to watch, put simply. But also the curse, man, the carrier curse. We didn't get to see too much of it, but it was doing work from the amount of action we did see of him, and it was nice to see. Just they didn't have any ways of really killing him. He had 3 deaths, but that was mainly at the start when I think Boxy was just been a little bit too overly aggressive. But
those were like
on the most
3
part,
and 4-man ganks too.
Exactly, yeah. So just overall, man, I think their curse, particularly just from this game alone, I think it can work. And I don't know. I don't think Mint will maybe try and ban it out in Game 3, but who knows? They might. It had a big impact, to say the least.
I think there's other heroes to ban, but a curse is again Tree kind of showing the potential there. We also did see it last weekend, so a curse may be starting to gain a little bit of a trend as well as far as a possible pickup hero. So, anyways, we're going to Game 3. That's what matters in the end. We got Willow Keeper versus Fresh right here. This is the losers bracket, round 3, guys. Winner moves on to the losers bracket finals. Loser is finishing 4th place here in what is cycle number 7. Stay tuned. We got game number 3 going to be coming up here on Honcast. We'll be right back.